For today's lesson, we're going to take a look at how you can insert pictures, icons, clip art, shapes into your text that you are creating, rather than just designing a picture with it. So we'll open up Word. I'm just going to go down to one of my practice files so I have some text. I'm going to then go to my Insert menu, and I'm going to click on my shapes. And I'm going to put a circle in my document and make it about an inch tall, inch wide, and move it around. You can see that it floats on top of the text. Then I'm going to go up to my wrap text. Up on the top, you can see the Shape tab, Wrap Text. Right now where the check mark is, it says in front of the text, and obviously that's where it is. If I choose Inline with Text, it gets to be a little tough to move around because it's stuck inside the line just like a piece of font. Okay, we're going to also try Square. Square, if you move it around, you can see how the text wraps around your object in the form of a square. And you can see that no matter where you move it, the text will wrap around it. You also have Tight. Tight supposedly gives you a little bit tighter fit around the item. Through, I never really see anything with the through. Top and bottom, no matter where you put it, it's going to not put it inside the line, but it's going to keep the text above it and below it. And sometimes you'll want to just draw attention to it and not have the text wrap around it. Behind the text gets a little bit challenging because it's hard to move because you got the text in the way. So I really try to be a little careful with that. You may have a lighter object. For example, I could go through and make this a little lighter with no line behind it. And it would look pretty cool back in the background. But again, it gets to be a little hard to grab. So I'm going to just undo until I get back to my object. And then I can put the text behind or in front of it like I had from before. Okay, then I'm going to go to Tight around my object. As you move it around, you'll see that the text wraps around it. One thing you have to be careful about is when you put it at the end of the line, you want to make sure that you do not have these extra words that are hanging out at the end of the line. So again, what you'll want to do is make sure you move the object so that there are no extra words hanging out at the end of the line. It just looks a little funny that way. Okay, we can also go through and add an icon to our document. We've worked with icons over the last couple days, and so I can take the turtle, insert it, and you can see when I insert it, it's stuck in the line. So let's take a look at where it is actually at. So in my graphics, I can wrap text, and you can see how the check mark is right by in line with text. Again, with this one, I can do the square as we've done before. If I do Tight, you can kind of see as I move it around, it moves it a little bit closer to the shell itself. So you can see how you can move it around and it's going to go around the icon that you have inserted. Okay, for right now, I'm just going to delete that because you've seen how that all works. We can also insert a couple of other things. For example, I can go and insert a picture, which is that one right there, the photos, and that will take me into my library. So if I took a selfie, I can put it in there, make it a little bit smaller, bring it in. You will see that it is wrapped around the tops and the bottoms. And you can see right here, it says top and bottom. If I do the square like I did before, I can have it wrap around my photo. Okay, then what I probably would want to do is hit the crop. We've taken a look at a crop when we did our icons, but if I click on crop, I can pick one of the presets, or I can move the black lines just a little bit. When I hit the crop button again, you can see that I can get rid of some of the extra that's on the sides. There's a couple other nice features that work with the pictures. You'll notice that if you have a picture in there, it actually brings up a new tab, and there's some options here. Styles, I could add a small border to the outside of my object. I can add shadows, and this is something you just want to kind of play around with and see what looks good. You can see that there's a little bit of a shadow on the bottom there. I can move it more to the top. I can use a reflection. Not sure that I'd really want this, but it's an option for you. I'm going to take that off, no reflection. You also have the options for arrange, just like we did before. Bring it to the front, bring it to the back if you have more than one object there. And I can also reset my picture back to the original. I can take off the styles, the shadow, and the reflection, and so forth. So again, you can do that with pictures. I can also insert and use my camera and take a picture. For example, if I want my dog dish, I could take a picture there. I can go through and use this photo, and it'll throw it in my document. Again, there's a lot of extra that I don't want on there, so I could crop, hit the crop, and just get the dog dish itself. Not too appetizing, but I can do that. And I would go through and I can crop and hit crop, and there is the dog dish. And again, I can do the wrap, text around it, and all that. And I can add shadows, reflections, and so forth. I'm going to actually delete that picture and delete that one for time being. There are times that you may want to get some clip art off the internet. For this class, I'm going to allow you to use Google Images. So we need to go down, open up our internet, go to Google. You will see in the upper right-hand corner, it says Gmail, Images, some boxes, and sign in. We want to click on the word Images. Once we get to our images, you can see that it now says Google Images. We are going to type the word school. We're doing a project about school and we want a school building. I type in school, hit return, and you will see some images here. These are images, picture images. Say that we want school clip art. This is what we want, and you can see the difference between clip art and the regular photos. So we're going to take a look at this picture in the middle. So I'm going to click on it, and you can see there's different options here: cute, transparent, border, classroom, kindergarten, backroom, and so forth. I'm going to click on this middle object, and you will see that it is over on the right side of our screen. I'm going to hold down my finger on that image, and I can do a couple of different things. I can hit copy, and then I will be able to use it one time in my document. Or if I hold it down again, I can choose add to photos if I want to use that clip art more than once. You kind of have to decide what you want to do. So I'm going to hit add to photos. Okay, then I'm going to go back into my Word document, and I can do one of two things. Remember, I copied it, so I could just paste it in here and make it smaller. You can see I just copied and pasted it. I'm going to delete this, but I'll show you if I put it in my photos, then I can hit Insert, go up to my photos, and you can see right there under All Photos, there is the photo of my school. Again, if you put it in your pictures, it's going to stay there, and you could use it without having to go on the internet and find it again. Again, I can use this piece of clip art. I can do a little cropping if I wanted to get off some of that white off of there. Remember, you can crop in a square, in a straight line. I can add wrap text to it, hit the tight. I can add a style to it. Maybe I want a little border around it and then maybe a little shadow around it. And so it looks pretty good when I'm all done with it, just by adding a few little enhancements to my clip art. So again, if I want a piece of clip art, I need to go to my browser. I need to go to Google, choose images, so I get Google Images. And a lot of times if you want a piece of clip art, so for example, like a computer clip art, I click on there and there's a bunch of computer clip art. And again, I can scroll through this option here to find keyboards, a pink part of the keyboard, computer mouse, and so forth. And so you can find a lot of things there. But what I would do is, if I want this one here, you can see that it has a checkered background. It's probably not the one I want to use. This one would probably be a little bit better. So I'm going to show this image, get a little bit bigger image, click on it, add to my photos, and then if I were to look in my photos, I can see in my album it's right there. For your project today, you need to go to Google Images, and you need to download into your images 10 pieces of clip art that represent you. For example, if you don't like football, do not get a football clip art. For me, I would download probably a computer, books, different things like that. Make sure that you are getting clip art and not pictures. After you have downloaded 10 pieces of clip art into your library, your photos library, take a screenshot of that library and submit it under the assignment.